about connecting with people and creating a community of great minds and values.
This is radio like you never heard before. Elegbete TV Radio, the pathfinder for radio. Elegbete TV Radio, redefining broadcasting. Listen.
All right, good morning and welcome to the lovely Tuesday edition of the Sports Buffet on Elegbete TV Radio. My name is Edafe Matthew. You're going to love to come with Elegbete One Sports. We're streaming live on YouTube on Elegbete TV Sports. If you're there, let's have some fun. And it's a day where you are the ones who lead the conversation today. Finally, we've gotten the background stories and everything, and we can actually bite on it. Everybody's like, "Oh, yesterday, why were you not talking about the Nigerian situation?" I couldn't have talked about it because we do not have all the details. Sometimes it is hard, but you've got to wait. Like I've always said on this station, I don't do breaking news. Yeah, because it doesn't makes sense. You don't do justice to the story. There are too many assumptions. I don't have a reporter in Libya. All of the people in Libya, they were incommunicado because there's no network at the airport. The place that they put them, that was like a refugee camp, kind of transition, or Guantanamo Bay kind of transition airport. The Libyans knew what they were doing. But I always said that on this channel, I would always wait for the facts to arrive, to align completely, and then we can jump it up from there. And the NFF have come out through their communications director or media director, communications director, Ademola Olajire, to itemize the journey, the A to Z, 20 points of the 20 hours suffocation in Libya in an airport called what's the name of the airport now? I would get to it as we go. Let's see, what's the name of that airport? Abracadabra. And that's the abracadabra that was done to the Super Eagles. So I'm going to read out the 20 points. I'm sure almost everybody has seen this communications, or the NFF communications department communique that's come out, and everybody's seen it, but I'm just going to read it for the purpose of this show, and then we'll deal with it one after the other, highlight some points, and everybody share their point. But the major focus is not what's on this 20 point, because this one is events that have happened. This is the cost. Now, what we're going to discuss is the effect. They've reported to CAF. CAF is aware. CAF will take a decision. There are three different decisions that could come, or two most likely. One is, okay, let's reschedule the game for the integrity of the qualifiers so that nobody's awarded the board point. But this is an infringement caused by the host country, right? But one will be, let's replay the match, let's reschedule it, and let's play it, and say, Libya, you will foot the bill of the Super Eagles, which I don't think that the Libyans will want to be part of, but for the good of the game, so that there is a balance for political optics, okay? The Arab nations do not want to feel maligned and marginalized, but then there are recorded history of Libyans doing this to Remo Stars, to Rivers United, to Enyimba, Rivers United, and then at the Super Eagles. So it's something that they have a history of doing. CAF have been too slow in taking their decision. That's one part of the talk, okay? Another part of the talk is, CAF follows their system, what they did last season in the CAF Confederations Cup, and awards the match straight away to Nigeria. 3.3 goals. Easy does it better. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, as my son would say. And everybody go their separate ways. Libya, it's up to them whether they will learn from their mistake or not. Or CAF says, you know what? We'll take the game to a neutral venue. We would foot the bill. You two go and play the game and see. Because, again, there is a small caveat that Libya can hide under. Libya will not find out with this that Libya is governed by two different factors, okay? There's the Tripoli UN factors. There's the Libyan factors, so the rebel factors and all of that. Okay, so they can hide under that and say, okay, that's the reason why. More like force majeure. Okay, it's a very, very abstract word that is used in times of disaster or something not going well. Remember, 2 seasons ago, Liverpool went to Old Trafford to play against Man United. I'm just giving you this as an example. It has nothing to do with the league, but the Man United fans were protesting against their owner, the Glazers at the time. The match did not hold. And it didn't make the news because for media purpose, those kind of stories are not supposed to make the news, not supposed to be big in the front news. They just brushed it and moved on. But that match was rescheduled, was replayed another time. So those kind of situations can happen in this. I'm just laying it all bare. But then you as a Nigerian, you that is, if you're not in Nigeria, you're in neutral watching this and you followed the whole story. So let me read the details of the 20 points of a 20-hour ordeal on Libyan soil as communicated by the NFF through their head of communications director Ademola Olajire. Okay, so this is how it is worded. Now, every time I read this thing, it feels like I'm hearing the voice of Ademola Olajire in my head, and I'm also working to get him on a conversation on a Zoom talk so that we'll break it down as well, and probably try to talk to a few players to share how you're getting through the trauma and all of that. So let's see. This is like a 20 point of a 20-hour ordeal on Libyan soil. NFF's Director of Communication, Dr. Ademola Olajire, provides a point-by-point account of how a keenly anticipated African Cup of Nations qualifying match was relegated to a fiasco by Libyan federal authorities and Football Federation. Okay, when you read this, you will see where the Football Federation is culpable, where their government is culpable, where the whole fiasco turned into shit. And I'll try as much as possible to itemize them as we go. So this is our taking off from Nigeria. The chartered value jet aircraft departed from the Victor Atta International Airport Uyo at 11:55 hours on Sunday, 13th October 2024, and landed at the Aminu Kano International Airport, Kano, at 13:10 hours for the completion of immigration formalities and for the aircraft to refuel. 2. The aircraft took off from Kano at 18 hours. That's 18 minutes after 3. 43 hours and 35 minutes flight to Benghazi, Libya, expecting to arrive a few minutes before 8 p.m. Libyan time. But unfortunately, that's not the conversation. Now, number 3, just as he was about to commence his initial approach into Benghazi, the pilot was instructed by the control tower that he could not land in Benghazi despite having all the required landing papers and having completed all formalities before leaving Uyo and later Kano, but should proceed to Al Abrak International Airport, even though the airport lacked the control navigators for landing at such hours. He complained that he was short on fuel, but his words fell on deaf ears as he was told in stern manners that the directive was from higher authorities. Take note of this. This is where it becomes political. Who decides all of a sudden that, this plane is of special interest, it should be diverted into this forest, and then let us, try and understand, into this desert, and then let us do with them what we do to Botemen? Well, from higher authorities. 4, on landing at the Al Abarak International Airport in the small town of Labrak at 19:50 hours, that's like 7:50, 10 minutes to 8, it was clear that the airport was not a well-utilized facility. There were no scanning machines for the usual equipment for this service, and officials had to make do with mobile phones to scan passport data. Okay, 5, the delegation, which included 22 players and team officials, NFF President Alhaji Ibrahim Musa Gusso, Deputy Governor of Edo State, Comrade Philip Shuaibu, a couple of NFF board members, NFF General Secretary Dr. Mohammed Sanusi, a couple of parliamentarians, a couple of NFF management, a couple of media representatives, and a couple of stakeholders was shown scant respect by the airport authorities, who applied court manners and stern tones. 6, it took over 1 hour for the team's luggage to roll through the carousel, despite the fact that the bags and other items had already been hauled from the aircraft immediately on arrival. Number 7, no official of the Libyan Football Federation was at the airport to receive the delegation, as is the best practice globally. Airport officials could not answer the simple question on where the buses that would take the delegation members back to Benghazi, where the NFF had booked hotels rooms were. Okay, number 8, when delegation members, including the NFF president, Comrade Shoaibu and Dr. Sanusi, attempted to venture outside the airport to ascertain if there were vehicles waiting for the team, they were stopped in the most uncouth of manners by airport security personnel. Number 9, calls to the General Secretary of the Libyan Football Federation, Mr. Abdul Nassar, by Dr. Sanusi yielded no fruit, as the former kept promising that the buses would arrive in 10 minutes, which later became 2 hours, and afterward, 3 hours later in the evening, it was no longer possible to reach him on the phone. Frustrated by this attitude, Dr. Sanusi approached the security operative to request that the team be allowed to go out and board the buses the NFF eventually hired. This request was rejected with insults. It took the intervention of the NFF dignitaries to prevent what would have escalated into a row of the NFF president himself was not spared when he had exchanges of voices between the security personnel and his general secretary. This aggravated the tension and further frustrated the team. Number 10, hour after hour, with mounting frustration, delegation members, particularly the players, grew restless. There was no food or water provided by the Libyan Football Federation, and were to even procure these items, and there was no network or internet connection at the airport. This swiftly increased the level of frustration and anger. Number 11, at past midnight, it was learned that there had been word from higher authorities. Libya is a jurisdiction governed by 2 different administrations. Now listen to this. This is where Libyans might get a very small window loopholes to extricate themselves from whatever they think they want to do. But look at it from this number 11. At past midnight, it was learned that there had been word from higher authorities. Libya is a jurisdiction governed by 2 different administrations: a UN-recognized cabinet in Tripoli and a self-imposed team over eastern Libya, including places like Benghazi and Labrak, where the Super Eagles were, that the Nigerian delegation should be delayed for minimum of 10 hours at the airport for what they falsely claim was done to their team in Nigeria. All conversation between the NFF Secretary General and the Libyan Football Federation General Secretary on the match in Uyo, both written text and voices notes, are still in the NFF General Secretary's phone, but they choose to lie and pass a different message. So it was not accident, it was not mistake, it was not a political error, it was a premeditated act based on this information that is here. This is not me, this is not my opinion. I don't want to be prejudiced about it. I know I'm a Nigerian, but we still have to work with the fact. But based on the information that is here, this is what is coming out. Number 12, the NFF team was shocked because the incident referred to in Nigeria was entirely generated by the Libyans. They informed the NFF that their contingent would be landing in Port Harcourt and not Uyo, only 2 hours to the team's arrival in Nigeria. Despite this, the NFF moved swiftly to get authorities to grant their aircraft movement permit from Port Harcourt to Uyo, but this was jettisoned as the Libyan Football Federation apparently did not cherish the additional fee dispatched by the charter company. They opted to travel by road, refused to use the buses hired by the NFF, and instead hired their own, and disrespected advice not to travel by night. When they stuck to their own guns to move by night, the NFF provided security. The NFF even provided the team training facility the day after the match and secured direct flight permit from Uyo to Benghazi for the delegation. Now, 13, infuriated NFF president reacted. We anticipated some shocks here, given the false account of what happened in Nigeria as narrated by their team captain, but we did not expect these shenanigans. What I am seeing is despicable, and has no place in the game of football, which is meant to foster excellent relationship among nations and bring people from diverse culture, religious persuasions, and economic and political interests together in an ambience of peace and joy. Well, that's illusion right now. Number 14, the NFF learned that the embassy of Nigeria in Tripoli had written a fortnight earlier to the authorities in Benghazi that they would want to welcome the Nigerian delegation on arrival. This application was said to have been rejected outright, right? It's not done. So for those of you, why did the embassy not get involved? That's your answer. In a conscious effort to play down their frustration, anger, and hunger, players and officials resorted to playing games, listening to music, chatting themselves up, scanning through the airport exit door to see if any vehicle had arrived, and generally look forward to daybreak, which they hope would bring much sought-after relief. But that didn't come. In 16, many calls were made to higher authorities in Nigeria to appraise them of the situation, and these persons all expressed fears for the safety and security of the team. These fears were real and justified given the plethora of threat thrown by the Libyans on legacy and social media in the days before and after the match in Uyo. At 2 a.m., Captain William Troost-Ekong met the NFF president in the company of the NFF general secretary to inform the president that the team may not be able to go ahead with the match due to trauma, fatigue, and body aches that resulted from lack of food, dehydration, and very cruel, unimaginable treatment, which had led to some players falling ill. Okay, 17, the NFF repeated calls to officials of the Confederation of African Football, Nigeria's FIFA Council member, Mr. Amaju Melvin Pinnick, and higher authorities in Nigeria. It dispatched a letter to CAF in which it detailed the antics of the host and hoped that the continental governing body would go ahead to punish this rare bestiality visited on the beautiful game. It noted that the Super Eagles had traveled hoping to enjoy a great game of football, but had been sorely disappointed and frustrated by unprecedented level of hostility and poor attitude of the host. Number 18, at daybreak, Mr. Maurice Eromasele, president of the Nigerian community in eastern Libya, arrived with words of empathy from the ambassador of Nigeria to Libya, His Excellency Alhaji Muhammad. Okay, he expressed shock at the treatment meted out to the Nigerian delegation, who were made to spend the entire night inside the departure lounge of the Al Abrak airport. He said His Excellency ordered him to get a few things for the team, and he later returned with plastic bags loaded with croissant, drinks. This served as breakfast for the team. Number 19, more calls were made, and eventually it was agreed by all parties that the team should not go ahead with the match, but return to Nigeria to await the decision of CAF, who are briefed on details of the situation with regards to the unplayed match. Now, that's the bond of our conversation today. Number 19, CAF is already aware, and they all agree that this game cannot be played, so we didn't just come back on our own. Now, this is the final one. After spending many more hours waiting for the Al Abarak airport authorities to sell fuel to refuel the chartered value jet aircraft, which was initially proven to be some sort of robotic engineering, the Nigerian delegation departed the Al Abarak airport not worth the toga of international by any scale. At exactly 15:05 hours, bound for the city of Kano and onwards to the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, where they were, received and, appreciated by the Honorable Minister of Sports, okay, Senator John Ewa, so this is the canvas. This is the backdrop of the conversation that we are having. So there's no sugarcoating this one. There is no adding too much extra. But then there's a side dish to this to the show. It's a show. As much as we want to discuss that, there's a side dish, and the side dish is the England media and a lot of people power block in England are saying, you know what? Give us Pep Guardiola. We think that eventually Man City will be sanctioned. One thing would happen, but whatever happens, Pep Guardiola's contract will run out in the summer. The World Cup qualifiers does not start until the next spring, and so there's a lot of time. Instead of going for Eddie Howe, why not wait and try to get Pep Guardiola? So you guys are football lovers, and they say everywhere Pep goes, he wins. What irony would it be if Pep becomes the guy who goes on to finally bring it home. Is Pep going to come take over England at the wrong time? Harry Kane's time as a footballer is beginning to wind down, and a few young players are coming. How long will it take for him to get it? That is if or when he eventually takes the job and say, okay, I'll do it. I know that this weekend pre-match press conference, the questions will start running in. If I know the English media very well, they will hound Pep with that question to the point where he will no longer be able to say yes or no. We know that this international break, Pep was in Dubai for some major commercial activities. If you've been to Dubai, you know that everywhere you turn your head, you will see the big banner of Pep Guardiola somewhere. I mean, the owners of Man City in the UAE. So what do you expect? There's Man City banner everywhere. There's Pep Guardiola banner everywhere as well. So he went there to make some extra money outside the football field. But this opportunity with England is here. So first off, the first question is, what should CAF decide? Should they say, Nigeria, you have been given 3.3 goals. What's your reason? Don't just come and say that. What's your reason based on what you've heard? And should they say, for the integrity of the game, let's not be awarding boardroom points like this. Let's play the game again. But this time around, Libya, you will foot the bill of Nigeria flying to and fro your country, whether to Tripoli or Benghazi, wherever they're flying to, and then the game will be played. Whether you win is your own, whether Nigeria win is your own. Or let's put it in a neutral ground. Libya, you will still be responsible because Nigeria showed up. You just did not allow them to enter your country. So you would you'll be responsible for their bill. Oh, it's okay, Nigeria. Libya is going through their own hell right now. We understand the whole problem that they're going through. You foot the bill, CAF will refund you, but go and play the game. Where do you stand on this decision? What's the best punishment? What's the best decision? Or extremely, should CAF say, CAF and FIFA come together and say, this have no place in the beautiful game of football. Libya needs to be sanctioned and give them a 10-year ban. 10 years, that's wicked. Give them a 2 years or 3 years or 5 years ban out of the beautiful game of football. Let them go sort themselves out first and learn from this. Because, again, they've touched on Nigeria. But I have my own. Now, this is my opinion. These are moments that says to me, we are not doing well. We're giant of Africa only on social media. Our government not get power again. And people, this is the part where people will hate me. People will not like it too. People are no longer really afraid of Nigeria. People believe that Nigeria, they can do us anything after their president, not even this seat, not even the London or they somewhere. They are like Cameroon. We're being governed by proxy sometimes, and this is the part where DSS will watch this video and come and arrest me. But if we have a president that the African community of nations are afraid of, somebody's going to say, don't do that to Nigeria. You can't do that to Nigeria. You can do it to Ghana, Benin Republic, Togo, Central African Republic, Cape Verde, but not Nigeria, because Nigeria is not a country you can toy with because something might not go right. But in my opinion, I just think that this is how, the powers of our country have fallen on the international space. So much so that we be like with Mama Breast right now. It don't fall. It's of no use. Even if they come out Rapa, come out Brazil, it never attract anybody again. That's my own take home from here. But you guys can decide what type of punishment should be meted at, and what decision CAF needs to take, and to take very quick so that it will deter other people. But me, I'm from the school of the third law of motion. Every action, to every action there is an equal or opposite reaction. I don't like a small measure of reprisal action because he encourages people to say, only this one they do. So when you want to do it, you sledgehammer it, you put a nuclear bomb to it, and people know that, okay, you can't try this next time, because if you do, these are the consequences. I believe in actions and consequences a whole lot. I'm a strong and firm believer of that. That's my position on that. So it's up to you guys to decide what that happened. Let's look at some of the headlines in the beautiful world of football coming up from the Daily Mail. I like to look at them because they sometimes they humor me a lot. And if you know me, I love humor a lot. Former Man United Chief Executive Peter Canio reveals why the club failed in their bid to sign Ronaldinho to replace David Beckham in 2003 during frank conversation with Rio Ferdinand. Well, remember that merry-go-round? The Man United, Man United let David Beckham go join the Galacticos in Madrid. The idea was for them to get Ronaldinho as a replacement, and then out of nowhere, Cristiano Ronaldo pop up, on the horizon. They got Cristiano Ronaldo. Barcelona got Ronaldinho. The rest, as you say, is history. What would football have been like anyway if Ronaldinho was the one that they signed to Man United? What would it have been like? What would the story of Ronaldo be like to so many things? But then everybody on this piece of the pie got something beautiful. As far as I'm concerned, Ronaldo got something beautiful. David Beckham, has become football royalty. Now he's the owner of Inter Miami, changing the football landscape in the United States of America. His brand is one of the biggest brand post career, and everything is going fine. David Beckham, Cristiano Ronaldo, we all know what he's become. He's become the king and the godfather of goals. Nobody is on his level in that regard, and so many more. Man United plot to raid Bayern Munich with double swoop on a bid to bolster Eric Ten Hag's squad this winter. But one star wants to stay with the German giant until the end of the season. So who is coming from Bayern again? They've gotten, they say, just give me the lead, just give me the lead, just give me the lead. Everything will be fine. But then they got delete, and it's like they are deleting their goal scoring ability. They can't even keep goals out. So they want to go back to Bayern and try to get some other people. Well, it's a sad tale. Revealed Manchester City star who gave Benjamin Mendy money while he was on trial for rape as he sues the club for unpaid wages. So the story came at that Man City told Benjamin Mendy that, look, we will pay you everything we owe you if you are cleared of these charges. But if you're not, forget it. Your money is Tanaka. Some MPFS type shit, yeah? And he went through his ordeal and then came out. But now, somehow, I don't know where, Man City are saying, we're not paying you. We're not going to pay you. Okay? This is the dirty side of football. Most times when the media paint a beautiful picture and everybody look at football in Europe and say, oh, weekly wages. Sometimes and then they pay them the money. Oh. The problem now say, now the end, when problem then I would know this. Barcelona is still owing Messi about 80 to 100 million. Oh. They never pay him oh, till now. You know how long he left Barcelona and so many other ones like that. But then these are stories we would always sweep aside because the color, the things that they paint for us is always beautiful. And it's not master plan together with Nunes Suarez reveal, including Luis Suarez one-to-one section on pressing and staying onside, and a surprise Spanish speaker. How Dele Ali is plotting one of football's greatest comeback with the 2026 World Cup in his side, and the one thing holding him back, Dele Ali making the 2026 World Cup will be the comeback of all comeback after all of this drama, after all this wetness in the ear, and all the many stories, the sympathy votes that he was seeking to get and everything. But it will be interesting. I love a comeback story. For me, comeback stories are always the best, and I hope that it comes. French coach Didier Deschamps breaks silence on Kylian Mbappe rape allegation. Yeah, I remember I was sitting here in front of this microphone, in front of this camera, and I said, when Mbappe leaves Paris Saint-Germain in the manner he's going to leave, there will be torrential attack on his person. Maybe so much so that they can distract him and he will no longer stay focused on the football, and his situation might go to be like the Eden Hazard situation. I hope that he clears himself and he survive and escape all of this, but I understand football. I've been in it long enough. I understand football. If football can make you great, but football can destroy you. Because if we are honest, football is a game run by evil men and women. Evil people. The kind of money that runs in football is not money that comes from good sources. And because of that, people who put their hands in bad things are people who do football. And anytime they consider you dispensable, they all align together to destroy you. That's football for you. We don't talk about this side that much. I was speaking with a friend the other day and I was telling him that the dirty side of football is something nobody ever talks about. And we were just, like ex-footballers were talking something, and I said, that every time one footballer is successful, there is 100 footballers that have, lost their path in life for that one footballer to be successful. But they will so amplify the one that is successful that nobody talks about the 100 that lost their way. So let me give you a very good example. If you go to a regular academy and you see an academy that have 30 to 40 boys playing football there, the chances of anybody making it to the top from that academy in a 10 years period is 0.01%. So calculate how many players will play in that team. Let's say at the age of 17, 18. For 10 years, it would have grown to 27, 28, and 30 in those group of boys. And all of those people, maybe only one will make it. The question I always ask, what happened to the other, maybe, okay, let's even be magnanimous. Let's say 5 out of 40 in that space of 10 years. You know that some will go, some will come, some will fall off, some will come in. But let's do a ballpark because in 10 years, 40 this year, like that. So let's do plus or minus. In 10 years, you have like 80 or 100 people playing in that team in that 10 years window. How many will make it in football? Max 5. So what happened to the other 95? Let's even be nice, 10. 10 will make it. Some will go to the MPFS, some will play in African League, some will go to Dubai, some will go to India, some will go anywhere. 10. What happened to the other 90? Let's even be nice again. 20. That's too much. It's never happened anywhere. Not even the La Masia. Okay, so 10 in a 10-year span. What happened to the others? What happened, especially in Black Africa like this, where the chances are very, very slim? What happened to the others? Football never discussed that because we pretend like football is the poor man's crude oil, is a glory land, is sweet, everything is beautiful. But again, talking about Darwin Nunes, how bad can you be that you need all of these elements to come together for you to find how to score? You need Luis Suarez, you need a Spanish speaker, interpreter. What is the problem with him? Let's take him to Indaboski's church to go and pray for him. Maybe that would work faster. Or let's take him to what God cannot do does not exist. Let them put a hand on his prayer point and then let's see how it goes. Chelsea star Ben Chilwell could be offered escape route out of Chelsea Stamford Bridge by European giant, with ex-Blues boss a huge fan of the out of favor defender. So let's hope that he moves and he moves well. So this is the talking point that we've been having. The FA once chose Roy Hodgson over Pep Guardiola. They cannot afford to miss out on Man City boss again when he can end our 60 years of hot. Right, Ian Hubbard. So the whole talk about Pep Guardiola is now a front burner. The FA cannot hang on Pep Guardiola's decision. They should end this absurdity trial, give Lee Casley the job, right, Olivia Holt. So there is a battle going back and forth. Some people are for Lee Casley to continue, the confused guy. Some are saying, no, it's Pep. Pep Guardiola is spellbound by English football, wants an international job in the future and will never coach Spain, right, Jack Hogan on now imagine his England team. Like I've said before, Pep Guardiola will not coach Spain because of his Bax connection. The guys in Madrid will do everything to make sure that doesn't happen. And Pep Guardiola is not one who likes to hide his opinion. He says his things the way he feels, and he's actually offended a lot of people in the Spanish region, in the Madrid region of Spain. So the powers that be, like in the NFF, will do everything to make sure it doesn't work. Reveal: Pep Guardiola is England dream candidate, and the FA are willing to wait to get their man. But there is concern around the impact of Man City's 115 financial rule break charges. Okay, but it's not Pep Guardiola that broke the rules, so why is that a problem? Arsenal suffer another huge injury problem from international duty as informed star joins Bukayo Saka on the sideline to leave Mikel Arteta on the verge of selection crisis. It done the happen. Is the season unraveling? Is it falling apart? Are things falling apart so fast? Spain manager Luis de la Fuente insists he has not overplayed Barcelona wonder king Lamine Yamal after the 17-year-old withdrew from international duty with a hamstring injury. And I always wonder when people talk about this overplay. Where is it coming from? Daniel Maldini makes history by becoming the third generation of his family to play for Italy and open up on how it feels to succeed father Paolo and granddad Cesare Maldini. Man, that's nice. That's not seen that happen before. No, I'm not sure I've read that. We're just talking about Bronny and LeBron the other day for LA Lakers. I think this one trumped all of that one, 3 generations. But let's come to your comment section and look at all of the things that you've thrown up there for us to discuss. Thank you very much, Oluwatobiloba Oke, for giving us £5 or £4.99. As you guys call it in the UK. Thank you very much for that. Now let's look at all the plenty comments that you guys have put down for us. Darius say simple and short. Henry Morrow say let the game be played but at a neutral ground, say on Thursday. Really? You can't have it on Thursday. Come on, you can't have it on Thursday. The clubs will not agree. This one, you have to understand that there are so many things involved here. The clubs have to agree that they want their players to be released. You know, they think about that part. If they want to play the game at all, it's another day. There's going to be another day where the matches will be scheduled. When a weekend is supposed an international break that's supposed to be for friendly matches, Nigeria will play. That's how it's going to be. But Thursday, bow. International breaks end tomorrow. Anything after tomorrow, the players belongs to their club. Anything from tomorrow, the players belong to their club. So don't even mention Thursday in the conversation because there are weekend matches unless Nigeria want to use. Everyone say I love dreams, but not the type of the English are dreaming. Pep already knows the kind of people the English are. He won't in a zillion years consider the national team. They should go for Howie. I think you're wrong there, my brother. I think you're wrong there. I think that something in me tells me that Pep Guardiola, if the English FA can be a little bit patient, a tad bit patient, I think Pep Guardiola will coach them. Because Pep Guardiola, so look at it from this angle. Pep Guardiola loved the United States of America. Like, he loves going to the US. Have you seen when Man City are on preseason tournament in the US? There is this thing about how Pep glows, how he shines. It's like when my kids come back from school. Like, let me be bedridden, see those kids walk through the gate, opening the gate, my energy comes alive. Pep Guardiola is like that with going to the US. There's always something about him hanging out with the big screen. And the World Cup is going to the United States of America. Who wouldn't want to? Well, it's the first World Cup of more than 32 nations. There's a whole lot of dynamics to it. England have a team that may not win the World Cup. I don't think they have the players, because Pep's football is predicated on that player that plays the position that Pep was playing in his playing days. From Sergio Busquets to Bastian Schweinsteiger to Fernandinho, Rodri, Ayatori, Fernandinho, Rodri. Man City will have all that, but Bayern had all that, Barcelona had it. I don't know anybody in England, but then knowing Pep and how he can turn things around, he can use John Stone, Declan Rice, take them a notch from here to there. Take them from, car from Ferrari level, Rolls Royce level, to Gulfstream, private jet, and space rocket straight away. That's who he is. You can't argue that part of Pep. So Pep knows, no, you can't. You don't even have the right to say that. But I mean, I'm not sure that it's a dream. I think there is a possibility that it can happen. How soon, I don't know. But with the World Cup in the US, that US World Cup is a very big temptation. Pep is a brand person. And if he sniff it, that look, if you look at Pep and the way the family dynasty is already, his brother is an agent, another of his brother manages the Girona team. And if you look at all of these, they are going to create an empire, a power block empire in the future. And what better way to do it? You cannot keep running your brand in the UAE, because the Arabs, once Pep Guardiola stopped coaching Man City, they'll cut him off. That's the way they do their business. There's no sentimental emotions about it. But beyond that, let's try and understand that. Beyond that, beyond that, the American market is the biggest market in the world. Okay. Maybe Saudi Arabia now is coming to share it, because you saw Neymar in the boxing event the weekend. Everybody's looking for where the big bucks are. Let's also not forget that sportsmen and women makes more money off their brand than they make from playing. Michael Jordan made more money after he retired than he made when he was playing. 300 and something million was what he made while he was a player, the total earnings. But then when he retired, his earning ran into billions. And LeBron James is the only active sportsman who earning went into billions while he's playing. But imagine what LeBron James will be making once he retires, when he's not free, he's not encumbered by any rules again to do the things that he wants to do. Already his media company uninterrupted is already producing blockbusters movies, partnering with some of the biggest movie houses. Man, that guy's got the strategy properly made. And that's when we talk to Nigerian players like the Victor Siemens, the Igalos, and the guy break into the American market. One end of season, don't come to Olusegun and hang out. It's okay. You always have these guys. Okay, Jesus said in the Bible, the poor will always be with you. These guys will always be with you. Go to that market. Go hang out with some of the biggest guys there. Get some brand managers. They will take money from you, but they will take that money and make you more money. Okay, get them to put you in that space. You think that Neymar is stupid? Neymar was in Triple X. Remember, what is it? What is Neymar doing in Triple X? Return of the Zender. But it is one of those things that where you take every market opportunity, and once he did that, what's it called? Nike gave him 100 million. Remember where he had to go build that facility in his hometown for $45 million. So think about all of these kind of marketings. That's what Pep Guardiola will be looking at. Like, you know what? I think there's something there. I might not win the World Cup. I might win the brand war and lose the World Cup. And then he gets his suit ready. Pep and his swag. Before the World Cup, he'll be tying his agent will be tying deals, advertising, this one, that one. Oh, Lord. Pep will sign that England contract if the opportunity comes. Like, if he's sure that Man City will be sanctioned, he'll sign that contract very fast. That's why he's not renewed his deal. Well, we always say that it's November that he renews his deal. Next month we'll see. But I think that Henry Moru, I'll not agree with you, but we'll see. Henry Moru wanted to say, I know people will come for me, but I hate when our players were calling the Libyan people names like Sapele and all sorts. If they look into the matter, well, we self get for body. No, but on this matter, we didn't do no wrong. There's nothing we did that deserve what the Libyans have done. The Libyans have just put themselves in a shitty mess, in a very, very disgusting place where everybody wants to go play Libya now will be asking themselves, are they going to do what they did to Nigerians? I mean, it's crazy. There was a mix-up here in Nigeria, and when you look at that account, somebody's flying to your country, you should also ask the people, where are you landing? So that communication gap, that miscommunication there, maybe Libyans have, played their hand too much, okay? Making us uncomfortable and then eventually playing the match would have been good, but they overplayed their hand. They were too crude. They were too rude. And how I agree that retaliation is always sometimes more than the action itself, but there's also a point where you overplay it. And I think Libya overplayed their hand in this one. Okay, additional must say, what an eventful 24 hours. Libya became popular for all the wrong reasons. I did tell you. Adela Ademola says Libya should be banned for at least 5 years and 3 points to Nigeria. Everybody's saying their own. Oluwatobi Lomba, okay, who's giving us our first super chat in his time with us. And it's a new one. Yesterday we got 10 pounds. This one is £4.99. We're making progress again. People are liking us again to give us money. Thank you very much. I really do appreciate. We celebrate you. We really do appreciate you. Adele Ademola say, if CAF cannot do that, let them bring it to Lagos. Which stadium for Lagos? He says stadium. Do you have a stadium in Lagos? Guys, I want reasonable suggestion. Let's not make caricature of. And then they do this. This is not all those your regular radio station. It hurts when you do this. Don't do it here, please. Don't. Tosilima says, I see CAF giving Libya 3 points walkover. If NFF can take them to CAS, maybe we can then get a replay, probably in a neutral ground. No, you're saying wrongly. CAF is aware. It's part of CAF that decided that we should go. Did you see the official statement, the statement that CAF put out? CAF cannot give Libya now. Libya is the one that made the match not to hold. It's not Nigeria. CAF cannot give Libya the game. No, it's not possible now. It's not something to think about. Denzel Ojekebolo. I hope I pronounced that name well. If I did not, please forgive me, Denzel. Sorry. It is absolute rubbish what the Libyans did. And Nigerians should boycott the Nations Cup if no proper sanction is meted against Libya. Who go lose? Libya go gain, no? Because Libya look like they're not going to qualify. If we boycott the Nations Cup, don't you think we're on the losing side? I don't think that is our business. It's on CAF. At least they've not awarded 3 points to Libya, and we eventually will get those 3 points. Why should we? No. It's like firstborn of family saying, I will not take my father's inheritance because I heard that my father gave birth, have another child out of wedlock. Who lose? And the child out of wedlock will benefit. And why, come, guy, why are you suggesting that we should boycott the AFCON? For what? The only one we they sure of World Cup now, we don't know whether we will go World Cup for US. Bro, no, nigga, please, Denzel. Why are you doing like this? I don't do like your namesake, Denzel Washington now. No. Why you want to why you want to do like this? No. It's not good. So I don't know why you just say, why is CAF allowing a war-torn Libya into a footballing sector or our human existence? Football logistics and itinerary takes a whole lot of effort from a sane federation, let alone war-ravaged country where Ukraine are playing qualifiers, Israel are playing qualifiers in Europe. That does not really count. Venezuela and Ecuador are playing qualifiers, So Nigeria too. Nigeria could be described as a war-torn country too. You know how many kidnapping they go on. Not be super sports, not be what's it called? Afro sports people where they go cover the match for you. They shoot 3 people die for your country. Did you hear that they shot anybody in football matter die for Libya? So yeah, if you're trying to put this thing on the scale now, this is your suggestion. You know, stay follow. As much as I want us to tear into Libya, let the suggestion be as objective and fact-based as possible, because when people want to refer this thing where you talk now, why they say according to how they talk for Elegbete TV sports channel, it go rub me in. And like all the people with that place now, wow. I used to go out in ShopRite and different places. People like those Brilla callers, are the daftest. Yes, people used to say that. It's like when you listen to callers on Cool, even comedians used to do joke about us. Like when you listen to callers on Cool FM, Inspiration FM, you know that they're intelligent people, but the ones that call, why now? It used to hurt me anyway, especially in and you have said everything I want to say. Then why the hell did you call? Why did you hold the line for somebody else who needs to come and add value, right? So please, this place, let's do the one that would make everybody. Oh. Man, that guy said something that is reasonable, okay? I mean, we waited for the fact to come out, and we're dealing with that. No, it should be, no. So all about just say, I beg, we dash them the 3 points. I beg, no, we not dash them. No, they don't invest like that now. Sure, you want to carry your inheritance, go give another person. Say, you did. You never do DNA test. You don't carry your pikin to that person. The pikin can become president tomorrow. You can't say you want to go back, go collect. What's the worry, And then I must say, I am very happy the Nigerian team returned back and did not play the match. I am happy with the position of the captain and how he got the team to unanimously said they will not play. Good. Additional man went on to say NFF should lay a case against Libya to CAF. They've already done that. To the CAF committee with all evidence and a good sports lawyer to support Nigeria. Nigerians have never pushed back on this useless dark art. This is the dark art, the real dark art. Not be that one where they say they play dark art. This is the real dark art, but this one is dark art. This is witchcraft. Or here that it's like the area. But we will see how it goes anyway. And this I must say, Libya is not a safe place, and to display this type of hostage taking, I will not play. This should never be allowed in football, no matter what. This action is worse than a natural disaster. No, it's not. But your reaction is over the top. Boss, no, I beg, it's not. Then I go see begging money when I finish the show, but it's not. What's that? Natural disaster. What's that? No, it's not. So Oluwa Bajide says Pep would not succeed. The success of Pep at City is based on huge war chest by the Qatar investors, UAE investors, you mean, and the aggregation of the best legs of foreign players that may not be available in the Three Lions. Okay, so let's do some give and take. Pep Guardiola's tactics is built around players with beautiful football techniques and speed. Good game reader in the defensive areas, good game reader in the pivot, the central defensive midfield, the defensive midfielders, and then runners and a good passer of the ball. So let's put England on the scale. Phil Foden is a good passer of the ball, not great. Bellingham is a good passer of the ball. The wide men are also, there are players in this team that have worked with Pep: Walker, Foden, Jack Grealish, and then if he's not using a Hurricane, only Watkins can come in. I don't know about Solanke. Solanke doesn't fit like a player that will work with Pep. But, I mean, if Pep comes in, Pep would make them better. Now, this is a team that have gone to the finals of the Euros twice, meaning that they are not far off, even under a very average coach, a very, very low-cost, ordinary coach. So, let's say Pep comes in as the topping on the ice cream, as the cheese on the pizza. Don't you think that extra notch that it will give them will take them? Because don't forget, an average Southgate took them to the semi-finals of the World Cup, took them to the finals of the Euros back-to-back, something they've not experienced in their entire lives since '66. So if Pep can come in, and we all agree that Pep is better than Southgate, how much hard work does Pep needs to do to scale up what Southgate have already done? Because now we agree that Lee Casley will not do it. He's starstruck. He's overwhelmed by the power play of the players that he's got. But remember that there is not a player in this England team now that Pep will walk in through that door and look at Pep and feel like, oh, I'm bigger than you. No, the players are feeling like they are bigger than Casley, but they cannot. There's not a player in football history today that will come and say he's bigger than Pep. Pep will show you the door, kick you out, and make you look stupid. So I think, to be very honest, if England announced Pep tomorrow, I would name England as my odds-on favorite to win the World Cup or win the Euros after the World Cup if they don't win the World Cup, because that's going to be a bit tough. Supercomputer have already said that Argentina will win it again. I don't know what these supercomputers are smoking, who's programming them, but they also said that Nigeria will win the World Cup in the next couple of years. So let's just pretend. Let's just pretend that they know what they're doing. No, hey, whatever it is, if Pep becomes the manager of England, his coming home becomes real. For as far as I'm concerned, his coming home become real. That's all I can say. Oliver says, "Good morning, boss. Good morning to you. I think CAF should sanction all those North African, because it's always normal thing and it will repeat itself with another country. First off, I like to do things on their individual merit. I don't think bringing in all the North African teams into this conversation is good. We've got to play in Egypt. We've got to play in Algeria. We've got to play in Tunisia. We've not been treated like this. Why? Morocco even. Why? Morocco are hosting the next women and men's AFCON. Egypt have hosted. As a matter of fact, CAF headquarters is in Egypt. And you are telling them that they should sanction all the North African countries? My brother. Sure, you are in Taraba. So you should know what I'm saying. When I speak out, well, be careful. That's your sanctioning is too. It's too. No. All of them, all of them not be so. It's supposed to be small. Okay. Lucky Ogale say Pep and England will be like Tottenham and Mourinho and Conte, where winners. They were winners until they touched the unwinnable. No, I think it's going to be different. I believe Pep. Tottenham Hotspur a sanctuary of shit. There's nothing about Tottenham Hotspur that is ambitious. But England look like they are beginning to want to win. And, one good step towards that is taking the right manager. And I think that Pep will change it. Might not win the World Cup, might not even go far, might not even progress, and that will bring the whole media on him. But I think that Pep will win the Euros quite easily. But the World Cup, okay, that one go hard. Olamati says the match should be played in a neutral ground with Libya footing all the bills, because if the game is played in Libya, the Super Eagles will be shown the part 2 of what they experienced yesterday. I think I like that. And that makes sense. A bit of humor to it and every other part. And it's a beautiful way you put the comments. I just like it. All right, like I said, the game should be played again in Libya. Meanwhile, NFF was quiet until the Libya started retaliating. And that, I've said here too that one of the biggest problems with the NFF, credit to the Libyans. If you see where the Libyan FA, they had articulated their own position on Twitter. We know they were lying, but like it or not, whether it's the truth, whether it's a lie, the thing is they are in front of the narrative. The NFF are too reactive in nature. That's why I don't like. You should be proactive in this. Football gives you soft power, and it is very, very important to use it. Before the World Cup was hosted in Qatar, people thought that Qatar is just one small Arab country. Then they hosted the World Cup, and the way people look at Qatar now is different. And because of that one, it has created a chain reaction. Saudi Arabia be like, oh, our small younger brother hosted the World Cup. We want to host the World Cup. They are doing, if you see boxing, everything is going on in Saudi Arabia now, preparing for 2030 or 2036, which of the World Cup that they will host, and then change the whole world. They are building the line, they are doing everything, changing the world. They are diversifying from oil into real estate because it had worked with the UAE, where UAE become the real estate of the world, and everybody's bringing their investment. It's like, oh, you know what? This oil itself is overrated. Dubai is making money off real estate more than and tourism. People traveling to Dubai. They have made so much money that they can even block a country like Nigeria from leave Nigeria there to the old debt. Let's not. They do remittance. So let's not even do business with them. Imagine that kind of a thing. Well, all I have to say is Shawolo says that's why I stop. I beg, make Nigeria not return to Libya. That country is very volatile. No country deserves that hostility by Libya. I agree with you on that one. Alafa say it's only on social media we have power truly. If this was Egypt, CAF would have awarded 3 points and 3 goals. Says that's not right. The statement said now their president going to speak. Olafa say, I feel if Arsenal said Gabriel Jesus, I would prefer we should go for Openda. That guy is a workaholic. Arsenal does not need a workaholic. They need a good scorer. They should go and buy Victor Gakares and can connect with a striker better than Jesus. Jesus' problem is his injuries. But I agree that he should be sold, but not Openda. No, Openda go to Bush and small club players. Those guys should be playing for Tottenham Hotspur, West Ham, and Aston Villa. That'll be Arsenal. Arsenal should go and buy Victor Gakares. Somebody that would bury the ball in the net. And simple. Not Victor Osimhen, because the same problem we'll get with Gabriel Jesus will happen. He could go out injured when we need him the most. All I'm going to say is very funny. The same English people that said Pep was overrated when he was in Germany are now dancing to his music. Yeah, because he's come close. You understand? Sometimes from afar, people can be looking different from how you think. If come close, he's done things that the God that they used to worship. They see. Even he get the way Babalawo will do something for you, go forget Almighty God. That's just the truth. He get the way somebody go help you, you go to see him as your God. You understand? You go to see the person as your God. Anything when they tell you for church, don't enter your ear. Now that person be your God. So Pep Guardiola have come to the English League, the most talked about English League, and all the criteria. So he can't win it 3 times, he won it 3 times. Oh, nobody's ever done it 4 times, he did it 4 times. Oh, winning the treble is impossible. He did it. Like anything you ask, anything and then you now look at the years it took Alex Ferguson to build teams that was able to do that, and then the kind of opposition he was facing compared to what Pep Guardiola has to face now. Yeah, you have to hands up now. They say your opinion is fact until superior opinion and superior fact arrives, and then you hold your hand up and say, okay, I was wrong. So I'm not blaming the English people. You cannot stand on one opinion forever. At some point, they need to change. So if their position changes, it's even a mark of respect to the English that, okay, we now discover that the man is good enough to be, it's not really overrated. He's way better than we thought, because he's come here and turned this league into the French Ligue 1. And now we're begging, we need conspiracy theory, we need charges to knock him off the top of the league. That's something that, before Haaland came to Man City, everybody would pick Mbappe over Haaland. But right now, it's hard for you to pick Mbappe over Haaland, what Pep Guardiola has done. And the funny thing, Haaland at Man City is different from Haaland at Salzburg and Dortmund. Because at Dortmund and Salzburg, he was running. Now at City, he doesn't run. He's trolling, but he's scoring more goals than any other place. And that must be Pep doing something that makes it different. And, proving a lot of points that people... So he doesn't use young players, and he starts using Foden, Rico Lewis, and the rest of them, and say, he used young players. And then young player that he used somehow went to go and become player of the season in England. You know how many players under Pep don't become player of the season? Ruben Dias, Phil Foden. Which other player became player of the season? Under Pep Guardiola. So you could look at him and say, man, this guy, it's not just all buying and selling players. So there's some substance to his coaching. There's some things about his coaching ability. So all of those things, really will change your narrative about people, right? Just remember, they say Pep might be forced by the FA to take the Three Lions job and get reduced penalty for the current FA case against City. No, it doesn't work like that. Bros, it doesn't work like that. The English FA don't get the power to even do it. If they just try that one, they don't lose the case. It's not going to work like that. It's not going to work like that. Demola Ibrahim Abiodun says Nigeria should be awarded the 3 points. Libya are known for this. Nigeria should table all the ones they've done in the to Nigerian teams in CAF competition. To I think they might win the case. Sebastian Inede says it is obvious that the Libyan FA deliberately frustrated the Super Eagles, and their excuse that they suffered similar treatment in Nigeria does not hold water. And then he went on to say if they had any misgivings about their experience in Nigeria, they should lodge an official report with CAF, not take matters into their own hands. Okay, vengeance is CAF, says the Lord, says Sebastian Inede. All right, Sebastian Inede went on to say, in the light of the above, CAF should award the 3 points to Nigeria. Alola Energy says, is Neymar still an active footballer or is he semi-retired? He's an active footballer. He's injured. He's going through his recuperation. He'll be back, and you might be surprised to see him play at the World Cup in USA 2026. So I'm not sitting here telling you that he's not active. He's active. Jerry Samson, the man who likes to have a question about marriage. He said, good morning, bros. Good morning to you. I said, what you say about some rich man. I'm not surprised that what's going on owner of Peace Airline America and Canada looking for him seriously for money laundering. I'm not going to say anything on that until the legal's part are done. I've seen people ask me, oh, why are you not saying something about airpeace? And nigga, please. Nobody becomes a billionaire doing things right. That's one I can tell you for free. Even with, they say, what of the tech boys? The tech boys are doing. Oh, okay. Become a billionaire in dollars. Do everything the way you do the illegal. That's why when I see rich people in Nigeria go to church and start preaching and telling people, God did this for me, God did this. Make una shut up. Una shut up. Una no say the money wanna get, so na criminal money wanna get. Don't come to the church and begin to. And then pastors, because of poverty, all the pastors they give them all this. Not the people who talk of some women is the richest woman in Africa. Shut up. How are you not from the Niger Delta? You go ahead for the Niger Delta, and me, I'm from the Niger Delta. Sit in that church and I'll be like, "Oh, praise the Lord! Your thunder fire you. You're mad. You're a thief. In any other place, you're in jail. But now, yeah, you can't. God not did nothing. You people steal money and enjoy it as the system allow you. But don't come and rub it in the faces of people like you pay a dangerous tithe and that's how you make money. More could live matter. We know where some people money come from. I just say we not get the legal apparatus. Even if you write petition, they go send those police call you. So you just they look them, they laugh. All of a sudden somebody just come out of nowhere say get all this money. They jump up around. Oh, we not saying former president wife now get the business. What was it down the look, Sha? Demola Benny Brian, I want to talk on this matter, not concern me. I want to see Pep in that England team, Sha. Maybe there is coming home chant can finally come to pass. A lot of us say, speaking of Rice, boss, what is his biggest attribute? Because I don't think I saw him at West Ham making those passes. So why are people making that a case study for him? The work of a DM is to tackle. Nah. You see, when you let me put it this way. When I was working in Brilla, my job was to stay at a certain level as the best. When I came to YouTube, I'm not competing with people in Nigeria anymore. I'm competing with over 3 billion content creators. There are 4.9 billion content creators on YouTube, 3.7 paid monetized content creators on YouTube. So I'm competing with all of that audience, all of that crowd. The way I do my shows and the content that I create. When I was in Brilla, I'm not obligated to do interview, even though I do a lot of interview that will be voiced by somebody else and then they take the glory. It doesn't really matter. My job is to come into the studio, analyze and get out. Offend people, piss the fans off, and then go my way. Do my 4 hours and I get out. But you see here, the standard have changed. Every single minute, whether I'm on air or not, I'm thinking, what's the next person I'm going to do? Who's the next person? I'm trying to interview Richard Owobokiri. You know where he stays? Salvador in Brazil. Now, I don't know how many people in Nigeria will even have his contact. Do you understand? So every day you're thinking, okay, how do I do it? How do I make the move? How do I make the move? How do I make the move? So with Declan Rice leaving West Ham to Arsenal, the expectations are always going to be higher. The goals that Haaland is scoring now in Man City, if he scored half of that in Dortmund or Salzburg or wherever he was playing before, he will be a hero. But when he came to, and while he was at Dortmund, nobody expects him to be a Ballon d'Or candidate. No, just play your ball, try and win any small thing. It's okay. If you come second in the league, maybe top four, it's fine. But Man City, if you come second in the league, he's had a failed season. And then he went about 5 games where he did score goal. What did Reke call him? A championship player, League One player. That's the kind of things. Expectation rises. The position you play, especially when your predecessors, Patrick Vieira, Gilberto Silva, Edu, sometimes Alexander Song, all went from being play breakers to goal creators, pass makers, playmakers, and the rest of them. Then you now realize that coming into this team, that is what you will be judged by. Why do you think that everybody judge Man United based on Sir Alex Ferguson's standard? Any coach that's come in, the 8 or 9 or 10, 11 coaches that have come in since Sir Alex Ferguson left are all being judged based on Sir Alex Ferguson's humongous standard, forgetting the match fixing and all the rest were part of it, but they just judge him by that standard. So with Declan Rice, then you need him to improve his game. And there's no player who cannot improve his game if he wants to improve his game. So whether the standard at West Ham was this, now you have Arsenal. Arsenal is not the same with West Ham. Arsenal is way up there competing for the title. West Ham is okay if they finish 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, they don't get relegated. But at Arsenal, it is failure. Aston Villa would make 4th last season. It's a humongous success. Arsenal came 2nd last season. It's failure. So you see the difference. When you get to that kind of state, you now have to perform by that level. You can't drive a Ferrari the same way you drive a Toyota Camry or a Honda. You can't. Once you get into that place, or a McLaren, you start driving differently. You start rolling differently. Or you can't drive a Rolls Royce the same way you drive your Toyota, your Honda, your Lexus. So it's the same thing. Expectations got to be high, and that's exactly what's happening with him. His tackles are good, they are clean, but he needs to learn how to pass. What could be so difficult with passing forward? It's part of the reason why Martinelli is not playing well, because he's on that channel, supposed to be, flogging the ball there. He needs to learn it. I mean, you improve your game as you rub shoulders with other quality players and you play at the top, because he could just be the line between Arsenal going one step further or not. And if Merino comes in and does well, gets into the grip of the game and does well, my God, Declan Rice might just now start sitting on the bench. Aaron Ramsey was the best when he was there. And then they brought in Raya. Where's Aaron Ramsey now? Southampton. It could be the same thing for Declan Rice if he's not improving his game, because again, there's always a missing link. There's always something to improve, and he becomes a guy and to improve something, somebody must be dispensable. That's just the way. I always tell people that make sure that you're so good that when they are coming to improve, they would improve to catch up with you, not to say, you know what, you're the weakest link, because every team is as good as its weakest link. So remember that one very well. Demola Donibari said this one that Arsenal players are getting injured on international duties is very bad. Arteta should find a way to excuse them of international duties. I beg, he cannot. Lucky Dikeocha says CAF should ban Libya for 3 years from all CAF organized competition. The treatment they dished out to our team was wrong. Okay, let's find somebody from Nigeria that will make the case and see if we're that important to cause it. But we would keep our fingers crossed and hope that can happen. It's not as easy as you're saying it, but I look forward to CAF doing it. Sebastian Yene said the NFF need to follow up this case with all seriousness to ensure that the Libya FA is sanctioned. It's also on record of how they have treated some of our club side poorly in the past. In those times when they did all of that, how did the NFF react? That's one of the things you need to look at, because so my mom used to say this, that if you have friends, those friends where they will follow you to talk, as they talk, they will hit you, they will knock you in a play. He says their manners. No, my mom will say that person do that, he hit them back, but hit them harder. If he vex, I saw the one way they do me, they pay me now. And so I won't try you whether you enjoy them, because the way you tell they do them freely with me, you go not to say when the person comes to talking to you, their hand go there for their body. They go not say their hand supposed to down, and if they want to gesticulate with their hands, it go there not to they hit you. They feel they do it with other people. But they do it with Eyimba. We kept quiet. They don't have Rivers United. We kept quiet. Then I get bold. How did David kill Goliath? He killed a deer. He killed a lion. According to the Bible, he's built up confidence because those are two beasts, two irrational animals that doesn't have sense. If he's able to kill them and rescue the goat or sheep from their jaws, then anything you put in front of him, he will find that boldness to go and do it again. So that's exactly what has happened. I mean, you just say the person will kill your papa, you can't go do work for under a house. He go kill you too now. And so the matter be. Injustice to one is injustice to all. If we keep quiet, we are co-conspirators of that injustice. So that's exactly what has led to this. This is my opinion, but I'm just trying to add flesh to the conversation so that you understand. I didn't say you can make person laugh. Now this is not a natural disaster. Libya no try at all. This one pass witchcraft. Natural disaster. Wow. Natural disaster, not talk about. This one say, did you see some part of English press say na money they hold them from selecting coach? Now true now. England don't broke. They are so stingy. No foreign coach can coach. The press go key and will talk. The truth is there is lesser money in national team now. That's what I've noticed. That's why Germany. Now think about it. Why would Germany leave their national pride? Adidas is German sporting national brand. Leave it and go and embrace an American brand. First off, it is wrong in all shades. But Adidas cannot offer more than 50 million a year. Nike are putting over 250 million investment every year. My brother, which are you going to take? National pride or money to take do what you will do? So that's all some of the things you need to look at. The kind of money that Adidas is putting in Argentina already and all that. They're looking, we can live in Germany, I beg. And then they lost it. So these things happen. National team need money. And England, I don't know. They need to go find the money. I beg. Adilama must say, make them stay with Potter or Lampard, God forbid. All the say Lampard, na relegation. England will just stay relegated. England matter na like woman wey get 6 boyfriend, but no know who to marry. Olubadu Akimusere says, good morning, Elegota. Good morning to you. Can you please shed more light on what happened to the Libyan delegation in Nigeria? Well, from the report, this is what happened. And, I don't know why people make it a big deal. Because it also happened to South Africa in June. So, Libya reached out to the NFF, according to the information, that they are coming. But in the communication, the NFF did not ask them, where are you landing? They left that place open-ended. And then when Libyans were already on air, it's a 3 hours, 45 minutes flight. It's not a 3 hours, 35 minutes flight. It's not a long flight, Libya to Nigeria. Right? So, they were on air. When they now called and said, look, our team don't take off 2 hours to land. We're landing, our coordinate, we're landing in Port Harcourt. I said, no, now your match go take place. So you shouldn't be going to Port Harcourt. Port Harcourt to you, it's not far, but would have been good. So we'll make arrangement for you guys. So the Libyans saw it as Nigerian way of not communicating to them that, the match is in Uyo, you should land in Uyo instead of going to Port Harcourt. So they felt like that's Nigeria's own tactics of trying to play hanky-panky and make things difficult. So this is their own way of retaliating, but they took it a step too far. And that's the whole matter that happened there. And Dilama say it took Trust Econ to make a major statement from East X and NFF. They busy. They heard information now their way. Olava say, boss, just imagine say Victor Osimhen did that scene yesterday. Babago don't do ring lights this morning or cause trouble yesterday. That's his way. When I like her like that, now I been a star boy. You know how many people way they insult me with my DM say I be sell out. I the insult to Osimhen. I the take side against Osimhen. Man, I leave Osimhen. I would say if he say he go do the time where that thing go take come back to bounce back, they come. Lucky Ogale say, but I don't think I'm comfortable with Econ deciding they were not playing the game. With the sports minister that is quick to follow social media trend. If we lose the 3 points, I know who cause them. We're not going to lose the 3 points. There is no way in this conversation, unless CAF won't fall. There is no way in this conversation. Let's be very, very football honest. Anyhow, this one won't follow. again, maybe because we've been too nice or we've been forced into naivety, that is the call of the captain of the team. That is the call, because he has seen that the Football Federation have irresponsible leadership. Because if they don't have it, this is the simple way to go. If not England, I put for that place, the English government go down call, say, send a refueling jet to go fuel that thing and 2 bombers and take our team out of Libya. It's simple. If you do that to America, you do that to Brazil, you do that to Germany, you do that to any other country. Send like 4 bombers there, guide the team, get it. They don't want to get them fire. But that's the grants now. That's small values that don't get big plane now. They don't get Boeing now. That's small plane they get. So they need to refuel. They're not gonna send a refueler, go there, land there by force, and then get my team out of there. No player should be allowed to stay that long in the arrival lounge of any airport and then be threatened not to move, right? So our FA were playing nice, like I don't want to get anybody. You know this whole I don't want to offend anybody. So the player like you guy. If truth, I can bet you truth no talk that thing. Those people facing the Libya now. So the hero of the event, the hero of the whole event is True Second. Because a captain have got to like seize the moment and say, you know what, guys, we got there yet too. We go get gray hair for this place. And the excuse is, oh, they not give us fuel, they not refuel us, they wait for CAF never reply. And CAF, have you ever tried to do business with CAF? You will send mail, you will do nothing, you don't get any reply. You will call, they'll not answer you. People begin to tell you. So the player have to like, guy, we're not gonna play the match. In case I don't know what to they arrange, say now they can't carry us go there. We're not gonna play. Because no need for us to reach the stadium there, we're not gonna play the match. We're not gonna play. We are not playing. So you already know that, okay. First off, 90% of the players, the 22 players that were on that trip, 90% of them reached past Gusu and Sanusi. So who the hell is going to stop them? Who's going to stop them? Shaibu with the Bishop Bini. And now those people get to, if you come out the money with the thief for government, they'll be errand boys to these players. So try and understand the context of the conversation. So these players also, if they get their way, they can call their clubs. You know what the Jonathan Klobore interview? Guy, my leg, they pay me private jet, don't they air? They fly, they come. You think my MPFA player not be there career going. You know watch my interview with Sam Sisasa, where they go do scan for if Ambrose say he get home for your heart, say okay, they call him, say drop the player. So you have to put all these things together. Sometimes they just try and understand. So you know I blame True Second on this one. No way. That be True Second. True Second is a hero himself. I love to say when I mean those who get involved in all these kinds of things going forward. I don't want to say Sarri improved Kante by making him a ball carrier, and we saw how that transformed and improved his game with him chipping in goals when needed. That made him the best DM at the time. I agree with you. DJ Lavuma says, wait, Germany don't go Nike. Yes, now they're never officially, but it's their next. I think the World Cup during the World Cup or so was their next kit, maybe from next year. But they've gone. Germany don't sign Nike since now. The official number is 100 million, but behind the scene, because of information that I have, it's about 250 million every year in investment and other support packages that they put in the deal. Lucky says, must they ask Nigeria for the venue? Don't they have CAF details about the match? No, they must talk to Nigeria. So let me explain as we wrap up. This is how international games are done. First off, you're flying from your country to another country. CAF no get say on that one. Now you and the country go discuss and decide which airport is closest to the venue. So not be every venue. Take for instance, they play that game in Benin. There's no international airport in Benin. But now Nigerian FA can make a special request to the Nigerian airport authority, aviation authorities, for a special landing permit for a plane that's flying straight from Benghazi, Tripoli, or Al Abarak to land in Benin. That's a special caveat. Now, still the same runway now, right? That's a special caveat. If it is possible, the Nigerian Aviation Authority will say, okay, let them land. But if it is not possible, to say, no, we'll not get enough runway for the type of plane that they are coming with. If they are coming with a Boeing 747, for instance, but like the kind of plane we carry now, that one can land anywhere. That's a local plane that can go anywhere, and the distance is not far. If, for instance, in a 6 or 8 hours distance, that value jet flight no go figure now. You go land somewhere if we continue again. That plane cannot take more than 5 hours staying in the air. You go fall off the sky, right? So all of those things come to play. So the NFF is supposed to be aware of where their visitors are coming. Now we go also arrange transport. So two ways to arrange transport. If your embassy did that country and they apply, say, look, oh, we want to take over them, oh, they go do it. But normally now the host country, now they arrange logistics. You land, they give you bus. They by some countries will be so nice, they go down, put your banner on the bus and everything, they carry your team and you go. When you come in, what you're allowed to do, bring your waters, bring your food, bring your chef, all of those things. Then you also have to now arrange for your hotel. You can ask the host country if you have good relationship, you can ask. But having dealt with a lot of North African countries, up to the stringham where they go eat, then they bring and they come. Because to them, they know what they can do to others. So they don't want anybody to do it to them. So for them, they always look at it like, these guys can poison our waters, this guy can do, and it happens everywhere before, even internationally. So it's not strange. These are stories that people have heard. When you rise to the level of sitting on the board of football, you would hear stories. Players have been poisoned, not poisoned to death, to like running stomach. You know, we saw France 98 now, Brazil versus France. You remember what happened to Ronaldo da Lima. So all of those things come to play in football, in international football. And everybody wants to win, especially at home. And, you know, depending on what it means to this country or that country. So all of those conversation is something that goes, you know, hand in hand. Both sides must share the conversation. So if we now wake up, let me give you the World Cup qualifiers with Ghana. We left Nigeria. We were planning to go play the game in Accra, only for us to be told that it's the Baba Yara Stadium that the match will play. Because Ghana believe that they don't lose matches in that stadium. They don't even drop point there. But then they don't have any international airport. The airport there is rubbish. I mean, my crew, we were doing a film that time. My crew was in that. If you have my number, chat now. Send you a clip, a video clip. I can't put it publicly because we are not. It's a film. It's not. I can't put it publicly, but I can have a private conversation which I'll show you. The Nigerian players were coming off an international plane, Air Peace plane, on scaffold. You know what scaffold is? That's where they set still the penthouses. That's how we came down for that game. And then to go the game, to enter stadium, it took the team staying in a bus for like 4 hours. They don't already set us to lose the game. But we ended up drawing that game because Ghana was bad. So that confidence, Ghana was like, even as bad as we are, we not feel lose to Nigeria or going to Abuja. But they psychologically messed with our minds. Right? So they came there, got the draw, and they qualified for the World Cup. A lot of people don't know this side of the story. These are some of the things that happen. And sometimes you can be powerful enough to say, let me give you a good example. When the US go to major tournament, they take an aircraft carrier, sometimes close to the sea, or they carry a cruise ship, like in Brazil when the US went to the Rio 2016. The Olympic team, the US men's Olympic basketball team, they were on a cruise ship. They're not staying in a hotel because Brazil, there's a special fever. There's a fever that was in Brazil at the time from 2013, 2014, like that. So they were there. They only come out, go play their game, go back. So all of these things, 6 months before the Olympics, you see that plane that carried Nigeria from Atlanta to Manaus is a special airline, a plane that was already set aside. The American government have spoken to Delta. This plane is for the basketball team. Not this one will gather everybody. Oh yeah, everybody cram like Sandy. Go enter. No, the basketball team have their plane. They adjusted the seats, did everything for their leg space and everybody. That's a different. See, in sports, there is the high level sports. We the amateur now. What do they do? Now amateur what they do now. On the normal day, safe. Let's not talk whenever I say it's person business. There are certain things that shouldn't even be happening with Nigeria. But hey, this is Nigeria. Nigerian government was serious. Super Eagles are going to play a game. A team came to Nigeria and they're already grumbling. And we know that this is how North Africans do. If we're proactive, we don't send our Nigerian Air Force go there. Not for war, for peace, for security. Say, look, this place is a bit volatile. We are coming for the protection of our team, and we're here just in case anything goes wrong. We would help with security, logistics. That's what America will do. You don't see when American president want to visit your country. You're not comfortable in your house. Oh. They don't sell advanced thing, come sweep the whole area, scan everywhere. Now one man ain't they come. Oh. One man. You remember when Bill Clinton came to Nigeria? Well, I don't remember. Planes are not allowed to fly across certain areas for our own country. Vehicles are not allowed to pass through certain roads. That's the way it works. People who are serious. That's how we talk American president. TD Jakes was coming to House on the Rock. TD Jakes, this TD Jakes, so PDD TD Jakes, yes, Potter's House. They said he's a national treasure and a national icon. American Secret Service people come Nigeria, come sweep House on the Rock before TD Jakes come. He's a person of interest. More live. The matter long. We'll spend an hour. We'll talk too much on the show. The show people converse. The matter long. We're never ready. All this one we talk now. We're talking on the lowest level of the conversation. There is another notch to this conversation that even if we start even in this lowest level, so many people don't understand the conversation. So to take it to that level, try them now. American national team, they stranded in your airport. The wahala where you define, so you know what I'm saying. 12 hours now, American national team now you put for your airport, or the English national team now you keep for your airport like this. They never find reason to discover a weapon of mass destruction for your country. By now I war you don't face. So Arola Adeji says, how do you sit in an airport for 17 hours? AFCONQ did well as a captain to keep those boys in check. Them feet don't cause wahala for the no. You cause wahala, we go face you. What do you get? Like the guy never traveled before. You don't travel abroad. Oh, Jagoda go humble. Don't worry yourself. Like you can say, why Philip Schreiber follow them? The entourage of the NFF, they filled with people who not get business there at all. No, don't say it like that. All those people now they fund the NFF. Una not know una football they run. Nigerians, una need to take time no football. When they get matches like this, they need money. They say how much they jump to the gallery. They do it here. Una don't know what it costs to run Nigerian football. When they need money to pay for these flights, to charter flights, you don't know say you get people where easily it just like through this show now. You watch this show, it suits you to enjoy them, comment. But you get people where I feel cost, well, that I not do. I don't know that I not get fuel. They go answer immediately. Get some way you want to call them, they go just block your line. You know, so this is what we call an overture, a reach out to say, you know what, for the support that you've been giving us, so come and be our VIP guest. Not be bad thing. People do it everywhere in the world. Not be Nigerian thing. Everywhere in the world, people do it. So you get what they blame FA for. You get what you're not supposed to blame them for. Then for you to have an understanding of how the inner workings of football day. You get where they blame people for this one. Then they're not doing it wrong. Arotuega says, who we go blame for this brouhaha? Now the Libyan FA now. Every time you go blame your picking for something we go wrong. And finally, I say, boss, now planning make West day far ahead of us. We aren't ready in Nigeria. Let me shock you. One of the things that have beat my imagination. Africa originally was not divided by borders. The white came and divided us by borders. What Europeans came and divided us by borders. The Europeans no get borders. I traveled to last October, 1 year ago, I traveled to Germany. Okay, I was going to Germany. But because I wanted to see my sister in the Netherlands, I changed my flight. Planned my flight, Amsterdam, and then Super Eagles were playing their friendlies against Saudi Arabia and Mozambique in Portugal, Portimao. It's not on my list, but I said, okay, let me just go watch and support them. Not be for content sake. Just go and watch and support them. I went to the Netherlands. Even the immigration for Netherlands, like what kind of traveling route? You're going to Germany, you're coming to Netherlands, and then you're going to Portugal now. From Portugal, it doesn't make sense. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. But I was able to show him proof that I'm going to go back to Nigeria. Okay, so it was okay. Long story short, and then they checked me online. This is the way we do online. So you go to check me. I said, yeah, content creator, okay, no problem. Go. Stop me in. Now from the Netherlands. Normally, if na Africa, every country where they go, I will go through immigration, stress myself. You know that stress that comes with immigration. As soon as I enter Netherlands, they don't stamp me in. The next immigration, why I say again, I when I leave Germany. In that process, I went to Spain. I will first enter Amsterdam, come out for Amsterdam, go Portugal to Seville. Go see a friend. From Seville, come back. Went to Lisbon. From Lisbon, we flew to Paris. Paris, we spent some time in Paris, and then from Paris, we took a train. I took a train. Just wanted to express it. Took a train from Paris for Gardelis to Munich. That's not check. Where's your passport? Where's your visa? Where's your this? No. And then when I was coming back again from Munich, I flew to Paris. From Paris, I came back to Nigeria. My point is, those people not get borders. And I then get money, and then divide us. When would we knock off these borders that makes it almost impossible? And they go Ghana. Say my experience Ghana by road. Reach one place, a flower, where they distress my life. I was forced to ask the guy. I said, what do you really think when I get for Ghana while I walk on thief? I said, I shouldn't talk. Don't talk like. I said, no, I just ask. I just say, who go leave Nigeria, China, Ghana, and won't come? Who? Well, it's one of those things, well, that's so like be. They say now fence way fall, and I make goats enter compound. And normally the goats not be high flyer, I need to jump. Now when fence fall, and I go to enter compound, come shop your yam and shit for grant. Well, this is how we draw the content on the show. It's 1 hour 30 minutes of the show already. I hope that you guys have had fun. For those of you who have not subscribed, please do to subscribe to the channel. Thank you to our brother and friend Oluwatobi Loba, okay, for £4.99. Thank you very much for the super chat. I really do appreciate. And for every new person who's joined the channel today, thank you very much. For those of you who subscribe to the channel, thank you very much. And continue to follow our content. Working on a few new interviews. Maybe we'll upload the Polo 4 Coach of Force interview today. We've had that interview for a while. It's time to upload it, and you see. And then we'll work on a few other ones, but I'm working very seriously to get the Richard Owobokiri's. I know a lot of you don't even know that name, but you can search him out. Richard Owobokiri's interview. We'll get it done. He's doing big things in Salvador in Brazil. One of the old school strikers, one of the few players who scored 30 plus goals for Boa Vista from Africa. The early people who went from Nigeria and proved that you can go straight from the Nigerian League Sharks of Port Harcourt and go to Europe and go and score goals like goals are going out of fashion, or teach them how to do it. I want to have a conversation with him. I've always had 20 years now in the making. This interview is 20 years in the making. I've always wanted to ask him one question. Why is it easy for certain players to play well for club, and when they come to the national team, they don't do well? And it's reoccurring. Richard Owobokiri, Michael Biku, there is Peter Ije, there's Kenneth Zaigbo, there is Ahmed Gabayaro, there is who played well for his club and did play well. Now we're having Victor Boniface, where it's not over yet, it's not conclusive yet, but those kind of teams. Where's the other guy? Paul Onwachu, Simi Wankwo, you can name but a few. And so I want to know why that happens. Okay, is the atmosphere? And it's also happened in Brazil, where Giovanni Eba was blasting goals anyhow, for club, and then he came to the Brazilian national team, just couldn't find a fit. It was in my studio a couple of years ago, and I asked him. I mean, the interview is on the channel. The Brazilian legend, the Bayern legend. We had that conversation, and he explained his own. So I want to ask the same thing of Richard Owobokiri, who I thought was a better player than Rashidi Yekini, my opinion, at the time. But Yekini, blasted him at the national team. He wasn't even on Yekini's level. Remember, we played against South Africa and beat them 4-0 here, and Owobokiri was invited to the return leg. He played in that game, just couldn't find his feet, couldn't sort out his left leg from his right leg. So I want to have a conversation with him, and I hope that I get the go ahead. But we're almost at a go-ahead stage. I asked for some of the works that I've done. I shared with him, and he replied that they were nice. So let's see how it goes. But until then, those of you who are not subscribed, please do to subscribe to the channel. Help the channel to grow, because the growth of the channel is the only way we can continue to do this work that we're doing. Thank you very much once again. My name is Idafi Mathias. You love to call me the Local Time Sport. Whatever time talking about the Nigerian debacle in Libya, Pep Guardiola for the England job, and the rest. Tomorrow we'll come back and talk about all those injuries that Arsenal suffered. How would it affect them in the course of the season? What would happen? Many other talk. Eric Ten Hag will be back on the burning point, talking point again, and many things. But thank you so much for being with me today. God bless you, and have for yourself a wonderful day. My Mike say, what's that? I don't understand. Adeyeri Kagumba say you, and yeah, I'm sure that I won't get tired of telling you that you're typing the wrong thing on my channel.